The famous John from Queens is locked on, always my #1 supporter when it comes to, SMS. Thank you, John. Check him out on YouTube, and that is John from Queens YouTube channel. Good evening, and Ramadan Mubarak to each and every one of you. Mic test 1 and 2, and I'm hoping that John from Queens will let me know if the audio is okay before we go forward. The beautiful Liz Paduman, and yes, Liz, remember, it's Soma and Shanaz. Thank you. Thank you, and Liz is always watching us from Guyana, beautiful homeland Guyana. Paro, how you guys are doing? Good evening to you. Hey, Red Sonia, how you guys are doing? Good evening. Beautiful Thursday night, each and every one of you. I'll give you guys a moment to hit share for us, as we want to talk a lot with the beautiful Soma, and there's big things happening, guys, and, you'll be proud of her and where she's going, with her campaigning and what she's campaigning for. So thank you guys for sharing the link in advance, and we will be talking with Soma Syed, who is running for our Queens County Judge. That's right, representing. Speaking of woman empowerment, this is a way to go, a way to start off with. So let's get to, here is the beautiful Soma for Queens County Judge. Election is June 22nd, so get out there and vote. And remember, how many candidates before we get into our program. Good evening, Soma. How are you today? Ramadan Mubarak.
Good evening, Ramadan Mubarak. It's good to be here with you.
As I said, Soma is not a stranger. She could pop in wherever she's in the area just to keep you guys informed of what's going on. And that's your mama, Bibi Khan. Salam to your mama. It's J.D. and my really good friend from Guyana. And Soma is no stranger. She always likes to keep us in the loop of what's going on. And it seems like every time you're stopping by, it's always something bigger and better always, And, opportunity always presents itself at the right time, at the perfect time. And you cannot, go with what God doesn't want. And when it's meant to happen, it will happen.
I believe in that. Thank you.
Yes. And, it's Ramadan month, so we need prayers for India right now. I know there's a lot of things going on. We need prayers for the world. How is Bangladesh? I know Soma was born in Bangladesh. She resided here in New York, lived in our area for quite some time, so she knows, where we need help and what we need in our community, born in Jamaica area. So, how is homeland Bangladesh for you? I mean, we're here where we still practice our religion and try to make our community better. We make it better for our newcomers who are coming here, get that foundation going.
I think people who come now, they don't really miss their original hometown, because there are so many people from their own backgrounds. Also food, clothing,
resources, #1. You get all the resources. Not like back in the days when you just come here and you're looking to see another Guyanese, you're looking to see another Bangladeshi.
Exactly.
There's so much community service, and that's what I like it. We're building a foundation for others to reap the benefit of, I could say.
Exactly. But as you know, right now, the whole world is suffering because of the pandemic. India is in a really very tough situation right now. So our thoughts and prayers, and hopefully all the resources that all the countries have committed to, they get there on time and help as many people as possible.
That's right. I heard Radio Zindagi will have a live broadcast also urging the viewers to donate, because they're buying more ventilators and hoping to get more beds in India. And it's strange because India donated so many vaccines to our country and other parts of the world, but it doesn't matter how much you have, it's how much of the people want to go get the vaccine. You might have 1,000, but not everybody's going to get it. Not everybody's wearing the mask and performing the social distancing or obeying the rules. So they were trying to help our homeland better. And I hope you guys are practicing social distancing, washing your hands, wearing your mask. And we have so much hand sanitizer, as I was just showing Soma from the mayor's office on behalf of the Lions, the Queens Community Lions Club. We were giving away masks and sanitizer because we want you, our community folks, to be safe. You have to get out there. You have to do your grocery shopping. You have to get out there and vote.
Yes. Majorly important.
That's right. So we want to make you guys safe. If you need a pack of masks to get out there and vote, let us know. We'll drop it off. I have in my car. Soma, tell us what's different about this election. And I want to say first, congratulations. You know, she is our first Bangladeshi. She's a woman. You wear so many hats right now, and you're paving the pathway for so many of us. And you know, February and March was woman empowerment, but it's always a good time for us to empower each other.
Absolutely, absolutely. It's never a wrong time to be a role model, to be a mentor, to help someone who needs guidance, who needs assistance. And sometimes all you need is some encouraging words.
That's right. A little bit of, you could do it, you know, someone who's believe in you that you could make a difference, because sometimes as humans, we don't believe in ourselves. We don't see the light that we could actually accomplish it. But, you know, you've been in this field for a really long time, being a lawyer, you've accomplished a lot because you help so much, and your satisfaction comes from helping others.
Absolutely. Yeah, absolutely. I love helping people. I love public service. And as you know, that I decided to run for Queens County Civil Court Judge. It's countywide. What this means is anyone from Richmond Hill, South Ozone Park, from Long Island City, Astoria, Jackson Heights, Whitestone, Bayside, Jamaica, Floral Park, St. Albans, Far Rockaways, they can all vote for me. Any registered Democrat can vote for me on June 22nd. And it's such an important office that we have. This Queens is a mosaic of cultures and different backgrounds. But we need that representation to reflect on the judiciary bench. So I'm running to make sure we have a diversified bench, that we have independent judicial bench, fair, just, and effective justice system, and everyone needs to be treated equally by the law, before the law. And that's why I'm running, because we need to have judges who look like us. So it's fair. So we can be proud of Queens and all the people that are here. So I'm super excited about being an attorney, then running to become a judge, and also the first Muslim American judge in Queens, first Bangladeshi American, woman of color. These are important marks, but what's so important for me is that I love public service, and it's so important for me is to be able to represent and treat everyone who comes before my court is so important, because justice should be blind. And that's what I believe in, and that's why I'm running. And I ask everyone who's watching this, please go out and vote on June 22nd, vote for me, and tell your friends and families and colleagues how important this election is. Because this election, we have the mayoral election, we have a comptroller, we have public advocate, we have the Queens Borough President's race, and the judge races, as well as city council races. So many elections together. So come out and vote. And Shana was saying earlier, if you need masks, reach out to Shanaz, and hand sanitizer. So there's no excuse not to come out and vote, Shanaz.
That's right. And, you know, Soma is here. She's paving the way for our next generation. She is the first Muslim American judge, and she's running for countrywide office in Queens, first Bangladeshi judge. And I do want to say another strong woman of color enjoying diversity on the bench. And I do want to mention that, you know, Mr. Gehi wanted to be here just because he know who you are and what you've been doing. Yeah. And he applauds you for that. And I asked him, I said, you know, what is the difference? Because he's a lawyer who's always in the courtroom. So I said, what would you think, you know, how would you feel when you go in a courtroom and see someone of color there? He's like, you know, it makes a lot of difference because you're representing the community, and it's someone sitting up there will understand your background and a little where you're coming from. You know, a little diversity will make a lot of difference. Hey, Rishi Rambali, good evening to you. Jay Darnarine, thank you for sharing. I love that Facebook is allowing me to see who's actually sharing. And always, Rishi Rambali said, I'm always sharing your show, but it doesn't say share here. Red Sonia, good evening to you. Share it to everyone who's living in Queens and all the areas where Sonia mentioned, because, you know, they might not know Sonia. but they will see her name on the ballot and they will know what she stands for. Ram Hiralal, good night to you. Thank you very much. We're trying to make a difference. Bibi Khan, how you doing? And happy Ramadan to our entire Muslim community. Soma took the time off today, even though she's fasting. She made the time to come on down to our program and let you guys know that June 22nd is our election. Now, where can we go out and vote for you?
So let me just say that early voting starts June 12th. So there will be 9 days of early voting. And early voting have different polling sites than the regular voting. So if you have voted before, you'll be the same place. And if you do need assistance, you can always log in online, newyorkcity.polsite.gov and various other websites where you can just log in your address and it'll give you the polling site. And if you have voted in the last election or the election before, New York City Board of Elections sends you a book that gives you your polling site, your ID, and a little card to expedite your voting. You know, that was used in the last
election. Okay,
yes.
It's expedite things, you know.
Yes.
Robert Ram, good evening to you. Rajdeo, good evening. And happy Ramadan to you, Deo Narayan, my beautiful friend. Vote June 22nd to get Soma on the bench. Soma is a judge with no political bosses behind her, and only the people will be behind her because, you know, to have good government, you have to hear from the people.
Absolutely.
Voices make a difference.
You know, organization exists because of people. Institution exists because of people. So people's voices, voices in the process is so important. Because you wouldn't know what to do with a community if you don't hear the voices and the representation from community leaders. And, you know, everyone has an agenda, whether you're applying to be administrator, a nurse, you know what you want to get done and what difference you have in mind to make to our community. What are some of the things that you're hoping that to make better? Well, firstly, when I get elected, it will be a big addition to the diversification of the judiciary system. So that's in number one, both perception as well as the actual work that will be done in the courthouse, which is basically having someone who looks like you, who understands your background. And that will be that could have a cascading effect for other individuals who want to go in the similar path. And it's just, you know, applying the law equally before anyone who comes before my court. And that's what people want. They don't want two justice systems. They want one justice system. And that's what I intend to do. Treat everyone with respect, dignity, and give the same justice.
Right. And if you don't know a person's background or their traditions, like, you know, we're not all the same, you know, you don't know their tradition, you might not know where the law abides you, you know, and that will answer my question of why are you running to be a judge, right? Tell us a little bit more. I know you were recently honored as a power lawyer in 2021 in the Snips Media.
Yes. So a couple of weeks ago, I was honored as a power lawyer honoree. So this basically celebrates the legal contributions and the legal impact one has in the community, in the legal field. So it's a huge honor to be recognized by Shanaz Media. That's like a media mogul of New York City, New York State, with about 90 different media they have. So it's a huge honor to be recognized for your work. That's what I've been doing. You know, I wanted to be an attorney since I was 12 years old.
I mean, it's a great accomplishment knowing that you help someone, and you have been doing a lot of pro bono cases. Sometimes somebody might say, why you do pro bono cases? You're not getting any. But the self-satisfaction that you're getting, making a difference in someone's life, they might not afford to pay for a lawyer, but you will represent them because you know they deserve a fair hearing.
Right. So everyone needs to have access to the legal system, to the law. And sometimes people cannot afford to pay. And sometimes people just need answer to one question, and that could lead them in the right path. So contributing and giving back to the community Has always been my top priority. And running for this office and becoming a judge and to be able to serve Queens and the New York City, it's a huge dream for me, and it's also a big step from fighting for my clients to looking at the law, looking at the parties, whoever comes before my court, and being able to provide respect and dignity and the application of the law equally to everyone. So I'm looking forward to that, and I hope all of you are watching will be part of my journey.
And yeah, it is a big step because you're being from behind the bench, you're in front of the bench. Am I right? You're being above, so you can hear their cases and, understanding a little bit more. I feel like the courthouses, they don't give them the time. Like, they're so ready to dismiss cases and stuff, if I must say, because they don't understand the concept or they don't know where the case is, the background of the case. But it's a different approach, and it's a young approach. Is, woman of color, a Muslim, Bangladeshi. She wears many hats. So, guys, if you have questions, I think my internet is acting up for some reason. But, hey, if you have questions, do comment. Soma will answer them right in here in the studio tonight. You're locked on to Shanaz Musical Sensation on the ones and the twos. So, good evening, good evening. I know the audio is quite well. Rajdeo, good evening to you. Thank you, Mr. Rishi Rambali, for always sending those roses. I hope you guys are sharing the link. I want to thank my DJ Bolt, for sharing, and I want to say happy birthday to DJ Bolt, who's making his way down to studio right now as we speak. And I want to ask, I'm sure most of you watch the familiar show Judge Judy, and someone will be a better judge. She's not that rough. She's a soft-spoken person. But, I wonder what we expect if you go in the Queen's Courthouse and just see you there as a judge. I've served a long 6 months or 8 months. I was in the Queen's Courthouse on a grand jury, subpoenas. So it would be nice going up there and seeing a familiar face, someone who we knew from our community in time to come. So let's say we go out there and elect you June 22nd. When do you go in office? When does it take effect?
So June 22nd is the primary. So when I win the primary, the general election will be in November. And then I will be sworn in and take office sometime in the beginning of January 2022.
Wow, so we can't get in trouble till then. If we really want to get into the courthouse to see you, we have to wait until January.
Anyone to get in trouble. Stay
away from the law, right? It's always good to be on the good side of the law when it comes to, wherever country you're living from. Hey, Kenrick Khan, good evening to you and happy birthday to Leela in Canada. Hey, the beautiful Shamila Murphy, how you doing? And where's my wonderful friend in Florida? Also, good evening to you. We're locked on and you're watching Shanaz Musical Sensation. My beautiful mom, Bibi Muhammad, good evening to you. If you guys are having internet trouble, let me know, but I'm hoping it's on my end here. So guys, thank you for being with me. Soma is running for our Queens County Judge. Election is June 22nd, and she's no stranger to our community. She has been doing a wonderful job, and last weekend actually, last Friday, I must say, we were there. The Queens Community Lions Club shadowed her from Aberdeen Moss to 207th Street and Hillside, I believe, where she had her pop-up food pantry. And I think you were surprised because you were hoping that, every time you put up a food pantry, you see the lines around the block. And she's like, what happened? I said, maybe our community won the lottery. They didn't come out for, But it's really good to know that we're preparing for better days ahead. And if you need a food box, just let me know. I've been driving around. I do have lots and lots of canned goods. So if you know someone in need, reach out to Soma or reach out to myself, and we will get something delivered to you or your loved ones. Hare Sujdev, that is our community star boy. Good night to you. The famous John from Queens. Good evening to you. Davina, Taj Kumar, how you guys are doing? Thank you for sharing the link and sharing the love. I know we have a lot of restriction when it comes to music on Facebook, so we're trying not to play music because we really don't want our program to get blocked. I want everyone, especially in all the areas you mentioned before, reinforce the areas that they could go out and vote.
So my election is countywide. What that means is every part of Queens can vote for me. If you are a registered Democrat, you can vote for me starting June 12th for early election. You can also have the choice of absentee ballot. For any reason you cannot go and vote in person. And then election the June 22nd. So if you're not a registered voter yet, you still have time. The deadline, I believe, is May 22nd, the cutoff deadline for you to be able to vote on June 22nd or early voting. So it starts from, let's say, Long Island City, Sunnyside, Astoria, Jackson Heights, Elmhurst, Woodside, Forest Hills, Rego Park, Corona. You have Maspeth, Ridgewood, Forest Hills, Kew Gardens, Flushing, Fresh Meadows, Jamaica, Pomona, Southeast Queens, Richmond Hill, Ozone Park, South Ozone Park, St. Albans, Rochdale Village, Cambria Heights, Whitestone, Bayside, College Point, Floral Park, Glen Oaks, Belrose. So it is everyone who's a registered Democrat can come out and vote. And I encourage you to participate because participation is key to having independent voices of judges in our judiciary system. Representation matters, effective justice, fair justice, and treatment by everyone before the law equally is so important. And that's why I'm running, to bring representation that reflects the communities we have and we live in. And it's so important. And that's what I've always been fighting for. And this is just another way for me to do public service.
That's beautifully said. Soma is running. If you're just joining us, Soma is running for Queens County Judge. Election is set for June 22nd. And sitting here, she is representing our Muslim community, a woman, Bangladeshi origin, Muslim. How many hats are you wearing right now?
So many.
So many hats. But, it's good to have a judge from her diversity representing our colored people. And, bring some justice to where we live. I would like to see that. Serving in the Queens community, I haven't seen that. So, changes are coming and good changes are coming. I did say Ramadan Mubarak to my beautiful mom, Bibi Mohammed. I guess she wasn't locked on. Mahen, good night to you. How you guys are doing? And the beautiful Patsy Kundan, good evening to you. Good evening to Daisy and Foxy, sending them love from Patsy Kundan, the famous John from Queens, Auntie Nalini Naidu, good evening to you, and my beautiful friend in Florida, Shamila, good night to you and your beautiful daughter, my Lakshmi Queen, what can I say? Thank you guys for being in my company. Shanaz Musical Sensation, we're talking with the beautiful Soma Syed, running for Queens County Judge. June 22nd is election. Guys, remember, May 8th is our Mother's Day concert just for you and your family. It's a show put together that I want you guys to log on. Not just your cell phone, but watch us on your big screen TV. It will be a family show. So let's bring your mom together and all the kids. Make some popcorn, get some snacks. After Ramadan, of course, I set the time to be 8 p.m. So you finish breaking your fast and praying. And then we'll sit back and watch a beautiful Mother's Day show. Homage and the Wave Band representing Toronto. We have TNT Nitro from Trinidad and Tobago. And who is representing New York? We have Clash of the Bands. You never know which band you'll see up there. We have solo singers also, so do join us. The beautiful Liz Paduma and Rohini Chital. How you guys are doing? Good night, good night. That is Homage and the Wave Band from Canada. My beautiful friend Maureen Ramchan, good evening to you. How you guys are doing? They said we were having a lot of rain today, but the day turned out to be well. It turned out better than expected. Radha Ramatar, good evening to you. Ramadan Mubarak to the entire Muslim community. My beautiful mom. Auntie Nalini Naidu, good evening, good evening. And I know we're expecting Select the Bold to be in the studio pretty soon. Liz Paduman, good evening to you. If you guys have questions for the beautiful Soma, like what's her inspiration to become a judge or becoming wanting to be a judge, that's one of my questions. And I'm sure being on the other side of the bench all the time, it is an inspiration to see what difference you can make on the other side of the bench. Am I right?
Absolutely. So when you're an attorney, you represent individuals or corporations and institutions, and you work on each case, and you present your client's side to the best of your ability and more. But when you become a judge, you're actually a decision maker. So you have the ability to make a ruling based on what you heard. So, of course, it's a very powerful, prestigious position because you're interpreting the law, you're applying the law to cases. And each case matters to someone who's bringing them. For some people, it's a life and death situation. For others, it's financial, relationship. So you were in a position to make neutral decision based on facts and the law presented. So it's a prestigious position, but it's also a position that requires great deal of knowledge of the law, practicing the law, minimum of 10 years, and I've been practicing for 17
years.
So it's an important position, and you have an important role. And so running to become a judge, seems very fit, because we don't have enough judges who look like me, who has the same background and who's qualified. So that's why I'm running, because we need to
diversify.
We need to have representation everywhere. And for me to continue my public service is to be on the judiciary and to become a judge and continue the tradition that I have been gifted with to do. So it's a natural transition for me.
And as you said, you've been practicing the law for 17 years. Good evening, guys. You're locked on to Shanaz Musical Sensation. Soma was recently honored and recognized by the Power Lawyers in 2021 by Schnips Media, and she said that's a really big deal when it comes to the category that you're in. Is there a media page that we could go on and see who's honoring you? I saw your picture, and it was so great seeing someone of colored, our community. As you know, Queens is a boiling pot. Did I miss Richmond Hill in your? Are we?
No, you're included.
Okay,
Hill,
I thought I
South
didn't.
All
right.
Hill, Ozone Park,
so then I know for sure I can get out there, and my entire Richmond Hill folks can get out there and vote, and I know a lot of them. That's why I want to double check. I want to see, everybody wants to see a difference, but no one wants to make that happen. And it takes a person to go out there and vote, cast that ballot, because it counts, right? How many votes are elected?
Every vote counts. Because not only, here's the thing. When you vote, you let others people know that you know the process.
That's your voice,
You have a voice. You have a stake in the process. And the more you do it, it's your civic duty. So the more you do it, the more used to you get, the more voices you have, and other people take notice. If you don't vote, people don't notice. People don't come to you.
And you're giving up your voice and what your opinion is and what your beliefs are. And this time is crucial because everyone needs representation, and fair representation, I would say. My beautiful aunt, Bibi Abraham, is locked on. Good evening to you, and Ramadan Mubarak to you and my beautiful cousins in Canada. Jody Shyam, how you guys are doing? Good evening. Good evening. Rohini Chital, how you guys are doing? If you have any questions for Soma, she'll be happy to answer it. She's fasting today. She took the time off to be here as she is running, and she's hoping to get you guys to support her and vote on June 22nd. Soma Syed, you'll see it on the ballot for Queens County Judge. And there you could follow her on Facebook, Soma for NY. She is also on Instagram. You could look her up on the website, info@somaforny.com. I've been around her campaign for quite some time. I've shadowed her and see her giving out, all the food and support system when it comes to our community, boxes upon boxes. Last week she did Richmond Hill, then she went to Hillside, 205 Street on Hillside. Her office was there. And your office is very diverse, I must say. I mentioned before we have West Indian folks, African American, not just Bangladeshi. When you think of, someone from Bangladesh, you hired everyone and participate with everyone in your campaign. And I'm sure there's a lot of friends behind you who are always supportive. If you would like to give them a shout out. So Miss Pancham also.
Well, we live in a community, and you want to get the best people to work with you, to help you out. So for me to have people from each and every background is important, because I believe in the diversity. I believe in the representation. For me, it's about someone's merits, not so much about where they're from, what their religion is.
You give everyone the same fairness and hope, and
you have to, because you're a human being.
Right. And as we were talking earlier, and this is something I want to bring to, enlighten you guys with, we're still looking for justice in Trinidad when it comes to Mr. Lakshman Singh being murdered. He is a well-known guy in Guyana, fashion designer, entrepreneur, who went to Trinidad for vacation, found murdered in his bed. And as Soma said, we're all God's creation. We didn't give life, and we shouldn't take life. So we need justice. His mom fell sick since after she heard of the news. I mean, you're in Guyana, I heard your son was murdered. Any mom will take this, very bad. Hey, Charles Houston, good evening to you. Ramadan Mubarak, and good evening to all our listeners. Thank you for joining us, and I hope you guys are sharing, as I'm not able to share tonight. I will go to another beautiful selection while you guys get a question for Soma. Thank you very much, Rohini Chital. While you guys get a question lined up, I will play a beautiful song, and old is always gold, so let's go with an oldie.
कसम तुम्हें कसम आके मिलना यही एक जान है भले दो बदन हो जुदा मेरी होके हमेशा ही रहना कभी ना कहना अलविदा हमें तुमसे जानते मगर जी नहीं सकते तुम्हारे बिना हमें तुमसे प्यार तुझे संग बैर लगाया ऐसा राना मैं फिर अपने
Beautiful BBC Charan, how you guys are doing? Good evening, Rohini. Thank you very much. Rohan Naidu, good evening to you. Thank you guys for being in our company. Old is always gold, and I don't want to keep Soma much longer. She is fasting. She took the time off to be here on our program to interact with you, the viewers out there, hoping that you will share the word and go out and support her. June 22nd is the election. Please go out there and vote, because, she might be the only colored person you see there on the ballot, right?
Yeah, Shanaz, thank you so much for having me. It's always a pleasure, and it's always lovely to interact with the viewers, listen to beautiful music. And it is Ramadan, so I want to wish everyone happy Ramadan, and everyone stay safe and healthy. Send prayers to Mr. Singh, who lost his life, and to people all over the world, including India.
That's right. Let's unite with prayers. The world needs more prayers. Rohini, good evening to you. Errol, how you doing? Good evening, good evening. And again, someone wants to urge you guys to screenshot this on your telephone, so you'll go back and visit the website. Screenshot this picture right now. It's Soma for NY, and her Facebook page is Soma for NY. So check her out, share the post, share her flyers, and that's where you could follow her and see where she's going, and her food pantry and all that she's doing for our community. It takes someone to be out there to know what our community needs, and Soma has been there 17 years serving as our lawyer, legal community, and a lot of pro bono cases passed by her office, and she loves to help. When you have the heart to help, like we work with nurses all the time, but not all the nurses are happy to be there doing what they're doing. They do it. A lot of folks just do it because they have to do it. You have to do something. When you're there to serve, you have to do it from your heart.
Exactly.
And that's when you get the best results. You know, it comes with pride. It comes with love. So, guys, follow Soma. Thank you, Mr. Rajiv Rajnarayan, always a sharer. Good night to you, and I hope to see you pretty soon. So, guys, visit her Facebook page, Soma. There it is again, Soma for NY, SOMA for NY. That's her Facebook page. Thank you, Mr. Madre, always a wonderful friend and supporter of Shanaz Musical Sensation. Ganesh Rambilaz, good evening to you. I didn't see sharer as yet, so I'm looking to see who's actually sharing our page tonight, because we're trying to cut down on the music and bring you something informative that our community might actually, you know, benefit from. So good night again, and Soma, thank you for always stopping by. I hope you guys can visit her page, Soma for NY, Soma for NY, and I see you're active on Twitter also.
Yeah, you gotta tweet, right?
She's tweeting, and I know some folks are blocked from Twitter, but you know.
So that's why you have Facebook page, you have my website, I'm on Instagram, and I'm on Twitter.
That's right.
And you probably have seen my posters. Soon they'll be all over Queens. And reach out to us if you have questions.
That's right. Errol said she's always there. I see her at the parks. You know, that's Smoky Oval Park. You know, you have to be a face in the community. You have to be there to know what we need. The beautiful Patsy Kundan, Alyssa Mohammed, my beautiful Auntie Alyssa, good evening to you. Ganesh Rambalas, how you doing? Where's my beautiful mom, Bibi Mohammed? I know it's getting ready closely to breaking fast. So happy Ramadan to each and every one of you locked on. May all your wishes and your heart desires come true. Remember to include India in your prayers tonight, as remember, you know, what an auspicious time we have celebrating. Earlier, it was for the Christians, Easter. Then we had for the Hindus, Navratri, and we're still celebrating Ramadan. So if we all come together and pray, the world will be a better place, full of love and peace and virus-free. So guys, continue to pray and go visit Soma's Facebook page after this program, Soma for NY, and we'll see you pretty soon.
Thank you, Shanaz.
And what you like to urge these folks to go out? I know it's pandemic, but you know, if we could go out and have a coffee and have drink, you could wear your mask and get out there and vote.
Absolutely. Voting is safe, and I've done it. Last March, I voted in the early special Queens Borough election. After I voted, that election was canceled, so my vote meant nothing. But I went out and I voted. I voted in the last year June election, then earlier this year in February election, and I will be voting, of course, in the June 22nd primary. So I urge everyone, if you're a voter, please participate. Vote whomever you like, but also vote for me June 22nd so I can get on the bench and represent you. And if you're not a voter here, but you're a citizen, please sign up to become a voter. And you can find the forms at the post office. And you can even register through DMV if you have a driver's license or you're looking to renew it. So there's so many options, and there's no reason not to participate.
And no excuse is acceptable unless you have to babysit. You know, you don't have someone to babysit for you.
But, you know, the polls are open from 6 a.m. to 9 p.m. And then if you think about the early voting days, 9 days of early voting.
9 days is a lot, right?
You can make plans. There are evening hours, early morning hours.
To accommodate everyone who's working around the clock. So, you know, that's something for New Yorkers. We don't rest. We're always on the go. So make this one of your stop by and vote June 22nd or before. As you said, early voting is starting June 12th. And yes, I was actually there the last time trying to vote. Then I realized I typed in my zip code and I said, oh man, I can't vote for Soma. So, you know, I did make a special effort. So good evening, good evening. I want you guys to take it upon yourself, living in all the areas, and she'll read that area to you. So listen for your area, and please go out there and cast your ballot June 22nd for Soma. She is running for our Queens County Judge, June 22nd. List those areas again so they could hear their area calling out.
Okay, Richmond Hill, Ozone Park, South Ozone Park. We have Mascot, Ridgewood, Forest Hills, Rego Park, Corona, Elmer, Jackson Heights, Sunnyside,
Astoria.
Long Island City. You have Whitestone, College Point, Bayside, Flushing, Fresh Meadows, Jamaica, Jamaica State, Southeast Queens, St. Albans, Cambria Heights, Laurelton, Far Rockaways, Belrose, Floral Park. And the entire Queens is
Queens
at your
County, the
disposal.
entire Queens County. Wow, so this is a wider election than
Exactly.
the one before. So guys, I urge you to get out there and vote before June 22nd. Kamini Siram, good evening to Marine Ramcharan. Good evening, Rohini Chital. How you guys are doing? Fantastic Thursday evening, and it's my favorite time of the week. It's the ending of the week where we could spend some time with your family, make a cookout. Make the most of your day because you never know what lies ahead. Thank you, Soma, for always stopping by. And I always have, in all my studios, I do have Soma's picture, because she is a people person. She's a candidate. She's always out there making appearances. So go out and vote for Soma. How many more candidates you think there are on the ballot?
There are 4 positions open. I'm running for 1 position, so I have 1 person running against me. So this is winnable. Let's do it.
Let's do it, guys. Let's make a difference. Errol, thank you very much. And I know I could count on Errol's vote. Annie Sweetness, Tilak Persaud, good evening to you. Let's vote for Soma. Guys, share her Facebook page, Soma for NY. That's her Facebook. And we'll get back to the music. Please share the link. Share the love. Navin, my beautiful mom, Bibi Muhammad, good evening to you. Thank you for always stopping by. Anytime she's welcome here, because I know she meant well and she's looking to accomplish bigger things with our community. So give her your support, give her your vote. That is Soma 2021, guys. Give her a round of applause and we'll be right back. You're watching Shanaz Musical Sensation on the famous John from Queens YouTube channel. Continue supporting our #1 YouTuber, John from Queens. I'm yours truly, Shanaz Hussain.